Yeah, okay, we're on. Reacting to my story animated. I got locked in a mall for days. You know that's theft, right? And also, everyone knows these are fake. And it says, "Be brave and stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone." That's what it says at the beginning of the video. But freaking does this when my phone goes off, it stops my recording. But sorry, I'm doing this. But freaking, they copyrighted G from the Cub Scouts for watching this, and they said it wasn't fair use, even though he told everyone at the end of his videos about it. Subscribe to them, so do just that and they won't get demonetized or something. I don't know. Don't really care. Start the video. Right there.
The mall was almost empty on a Friday evening.
Okay.
I pushed to my feet and looked up. No going back from here. I started to worry. I had yet to shop for my secret road trip. I was happy and scared at the same time. I didn't know what to do. My eyes were wide open as I adjusted my sight to the painful darkness. I automatically got up when I realized that I was lying in a pool of water. I figured that the water was flooding that room at knee level. I was scared. I reached for my backpack to take out my phone. I had to use its flashlight. Unfortunately, it wasn't working anymore because it was damaged by my fall. I took my camera instead, and an idea came to mind. I started vlogging while using the light from the video to guide me as I walked. Talking to yourself releases some tension within you, so I hoped that this would help me deal with my fear.
48 seconds and we just started off with this random crap. You freaking didn't explain how you got in there. Or what you were doing. You freaking just said, "I'm packing for a road trip." The freak? You don't explain crap and now you look like a piece of crap. And you still look like a piece of crap. And have the freaking tripod on the camera fit in your backpack.
I continued walking while talking to my camera and soon realized that I was on a seemingly abandoned floor of the mall with two old and rusty escalators above me. I continued to walk, and when my imagination started to go wild, I walked faster. I ended up running in fear until I reached the dry part of the area. Panting wildly, I sat on the escalator to take a rest. I took my backpack and hugged it as I tried my best not to cry. Moments later, I heard echoes of a child's laughter and a chain being dragged on the floor somewhere. I felt goosebumps rising on my chest in an instant. Hello? I put my camera in front of me, but I didn't see anything. Look, guys, I think I've got company, I whispered to my vlog. The child was like mumbling something, and his voice became louder and clearer whenever I talked more. It might be the boy who I saw earlier, so I decided to follow the voice. I stopped when I saw a small figure standing ahead. Excuse me? I'm lost. Can you help me? The figure took a step forward, causing me to step back in caution. I gripped my camera tighter when it started to speak. Mom? He took another step forward, and the light from my camera revealed that it was really that boy, as he was wearing the same white shirt. It felt so much better now, knowing that I was not alone. What are you doing here? It's cold and scary down here. We have to go back up. I was looking for Cotton. I was confused. Cotton? You're looking for Cotton at this place? Yes, because I'm sure I saw her running inside here. I was confused for a second, and then I realized that he was referring to someone. Are you talking about a girl? No, I'm talking about that fat white cat. I named her Cotton because she looks like one. I brought her home last night, but she came back here. Have you seen her? He looked so cute and innocent, and his voice was tender. So, your cat's name is Cotton, and she is white. But did you know that cotton is not absorbent or pure white? It's a tannish color. I pulled out random trivia to make a connection with him. Oh, I didn't know that. I will change her name then. But, I have to find her first. She must be around here. Okay, but I don't think...
I'm sorry, I live in Alabama. I know what color cotton is. It's white, you freaking idiot. It's not a tannish color unless you're freaking microwaving it. You freaking burn cotton in your microwave?
She's here. Our parents are probably worried about us. We have to get out of here now. Okay, I'm Ashley. What's your name? Matthew, but you can call me Matt. Okay, Matt, say hi to my vlog. I playfully urged him, but he only smiled at the camera in a shy way. I tried to interview him more, but then I turned my camera back to my bag when I felt that he wasn't comfortable with it. I held his hand as we started looking for a way to get out of there. We reached a corner and immediately turned left. There was a lit-up hallway with an elevator at the end of it. Thank God there was a way out, but we haven't seen Cotton yet. I remembered the shops that had closed already. We have to go home before the mall closes or else we'll be trapped in here. You can look for her tomorrow. My friends and I will help you. It's getting late already. We have to go home. Okay. I pressed the ground floor button and was relieved to know that the elevator was working.
See, that is a sign that this is fake. All the power is off when a mall closes. Okay, so the elevator shouldn't work. God dang it. So this is completely fake. And plus, all the doors to the shops would be closed. There'd only be steps and stuff.
Moments later, we finally got our way back up to the ground floor. The elevator door opened, and it was dark again. As soon as we stepped out, the door immediately closed, and we were now in absolute darkness. Oh no! I wanted to cry when I realized that the mall was closed already. I was starving and my throat was dry as...
Then is when you noticed. Then is when you know. There's no explanation for how you got there, and why was the store flooding? You never noticed it was closed? How stupid are you? Were you going through the fence like Bruce Willis? I think, is that his name? Yeah.
Tell, I'm hungry. Nat started pulling my hand. We have to eat something first before finding a solution. There was unlimited food in the food court anyway, but the problem is we can't see anything. I thought about my camera again, and then I realized that I left my backpack down there. Should we go back? Nat insisted that we should, but the elevator wouldn't open anymore. Great. We started wandering around, grasping for some things, hoping we would find food. But instead, we grabbed some weird and unexpected stuff. I had mistaken a feather duster as a giant hedgehog, and a belt as an anaconda. We also hoped that there were guards or store managers roaming around for some random inspection, but we were out of luck. Okay, Matt, I think we'd better sleep and wait until the mall opens again in the morning. Luckily, we found a couch nearby where we could sleep in comfort. I tried to sleep that night, but I couldn't. My stomach hurt from starving, and the darkness was bothering me. I was also thinking about my parents and friends. They might all be worried about me right now. No one knew that I went to the mall. If Matt wasn't here, I might have broken down in fear already. Morning came, and finally, I could see everything. Matt was still sleeping, so I woke him up to eat. We headed to the toilet first and ate in the food court. He wanted to eat a burger, so I recooked a stored supply for him. Ow! Matt screamed as he excitedly bit on the burger. I think I burned my tongue. Being responsible and taking care of Matt made me distracted and entertained instead of being anxious and paranoid. Several hours had passed, and the mall hadn't opened yet. What is happening? I started to get frustrated about my broken phone again. I have to find a way to contact my parents or the police. We walked to the gadget store to borrow a phone and SIM card, but they were all closed and locked. Same with the internet and computer centers. We went to the appliances store, which was open to my relief. I turned one TV on and saw the news that the mall would be locked down for a few weeks because of some legal issues, but would be opened once everything was settled down. Oh my god, when would that be?
Oh, I was gonna say, if it's morning, why isn't the mall open? Like, someone hasn't looked up if this has happened. Like, hey, did a mall close down because of legal issues for a few days? Frickin' someone was left inside, and well, you could do a few Google searches after this video. Then notice it never happened. I've already done this with several other videos.
I became desperate and worried again, but Matt comforted me. Don't worry, Ashley. You're not alone. I'm here with you. Somehow he made me feel better, but we had to find a way out of there as soon as possible. We went to the area where there were glass walls to catch people's attention from the outside, but the aluminum fences and shutters had been pulled.
Okay, that's actually funny, but why would anyone be outside? It's shut down. Why would you be at why?
Down and locked into place. We also tried the alarm and the emergency exit doors, but they were not working. When we got tired of looking for solutions, we decided to sleep for the rest of the day in the most comfortable bed in the furniture shop. I woke up in the middle of the night only to find out that Matt was missing. Matt, where are you? Matt? I started to panic. I turned my flashlight on and looked.
And no one notices that freaking... Where's Cotton? And, their kid's missing, Matt's missing, no one ever notices these simple things. Like, how does your mom meant to leave you there if you're just there and freaking... If you're there and your mom never notices that you're gone, then your mom meant to leave you there.
Looked for him everywhere. I was worried and scared at the same time. It felt different when he wasn't with me. I never felt so alone in my whole life.
Why are there
I continued
skulls?
looking for him while ignoring the darkness, and finally found him in the stuffed toys shop. He was carrying a white cat stuffed toy. I have been looking for you everywhere. Please don't leave me again. Come on, let's go back to sleep, I angrily told him as I pulled him by his arm. No, he yelled as he pulled his arm back in an aggressive way, and I was stunned for a moment. The next few days was the first time that I saw him mad. Let's go back to sleep, I angrily told him as I pulled him by his arm. No, he yelled as he pulled his arm back in an aggressive way, and I was stunned for a moment. It was the first time that I saw him mad. Sorry, Ashley. I was looking for Cotton. I thought it was her, but it was only a toy. I felt relieved when he shifted back to his normal sweet boy persona. Don't go anywhere. We have to stick together. When we get out of here, we'll ask for some help outside to look for Cotton. Okay, but don't be afraid when you're alone. Ghosts are scary, Matt. I have been here for the past 60 years and there are no ghosts in here, Ashley. Don't worry. I only laughed at his joke. I urged him to go back to sleep with me and wait until the morning and hope that the mall would open. But it...
That's what kind of scares me. I know it's not real, but he's been there for 6... I don't think he's joking. I think he's the ghost. And Cotton is most likely dead if he's been there for 60 years.
Didn't. Instead of breaking down, Matt convinced me to look at the brighter side. An idea then came to mind. I opened the power from the breaker rooms, and we started enjoying each part of the mall where it wasn't locked. We spent our whole night watching movies in the cinemas, eating whatever we wanted in the supermarket, and cooking in the food court, playing arcades, and some other stupid things. We treated the mall as a huge mansion where we lived. After putting some makeup on in the makeup store, I also tried to put some on Matt, but he didn't like it because he thought it felt sticky on his face. But I insisted. I then gave him a mirror so he could see my masterpiece. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw the look on his face. He looked horrified in an adorable way. Please don't do this again, Ashley. I'll think about it, I smirked. I then went to the department store to try on some clothes. The mannequins there looked so beautiful and real. I took off the clothes of a male one to check the inside. They really looked so close to a human body. I was running my hand on its muscular chest, admiring it, when Matt suddenly appeared behind me. What are you doing, Ashley? He innocently asked. I was just checking the quality of the wood that they used to make this. I swear I thought my face turned into a tomato. I was blushing hard with shame. Matt had been convincing me to go back to the basement to find Cotton, but I refused. I don't want to go back down there. Later that night, I put Matt to sleep first and made sure he was comfortable. While I was putting a blanket over him, I noticed a deep scar around his left ankle. I wondered what happened to it. He had fallen asleep already, so I would just ask him about it tomorrow. It was around 1 in the morning, and I woke up to the sound of footsteps nearby. Matt was still asleep beside me. I got up and blinked when a flashlight was directed right in front of my face. Finally, a security guard. Who are you and why are you here? He asked. Thank God you're here, sir. We have been trapped here for 2 days already. Wait a minute. It's you, the missing girl, he shouted when he saw my face. Then he called the cops, and after just a few minutes, police patrol, the media people, and my parents arrived at the mall. My mom and dad were crying as they hugged me. The cops and media started interviewing me about how I got trapped at the mall. I told them everything that happened, but they seemed to be ignoring Matt. So what are you going to do with the boy? I asked the cops, but they only exchanged weird looks. Can you come with me? I asked again, but they were exchanging questioning looks, including my parents. Come on, Matt, come with me, we'll take you home. Matt smiled and rushed toward me to hold my hand. He told me he wanted to have a moment with me, and so I asked everyone to leave us for a while. Leave you with who? Mom asked, as if she couldn't see Matthew. With Matt. You didn't tell us that you had a boyfriend already. No, he's not my boyfriend. Can't you see that he's a young boy? Her entrapment in the mall might have affected her mental state. We have to bring her to the therapist. She might have suffered trauma, my dad whispered to my mom. But I heard it. Dad, I'm not crazy. It was only for 2 days and I enjoyed it anyway. I mean, who wouldn't be happy being trapped in a mall? Everything was free. They kept ignoring everything about Matt. I will go home by myself later, Ashley. Thank you for taking care of me. I will continue to look for Cotton. Don't worry about me. I hugged him before we parted and told him that we would see each other again. I was so persistent about Matt for the next few days, but no one would listen to me. They were acting like he didn't exist, so I ended up having a session with a therapist. He was an old, experienced man. I told him everything that happened at the mall and what I felt the entire time. What he told me next,
I told you, didn't Matt?
Gave me goosebumps again. I remembered a news story about a boy with the same name who was well known in our neighborhood at that time. He was so protective of lost and stray animals that he requested his father build a home for them. Every day after school, he wandered around looking for cats and dogs and would bring them home. He went missing and was never found. Matthew reminded me of him. That can't be Matt. I couldn't accept the fact that he wasn't real. Everything was real. He looked so real and his body felt warm, just like how a human body would feel like. And we certainly had that connection. I don't think I'm crazy and I don't have any third eye or any paranormal gifts anyway. There was only one way to find out. I remembered that I had evidence of his existence, and it was in my vlogging camera. I have to find that backpack in the basement. I have to go back there. It was the only way to prove that I wasn't crazy. I'm just a little unwell, maybe. I asked Anna and Abby to come with me to the mall. We told security that I was the missing girl last time and asked help from him, so he guided us back to the basement. It only took us a few minutes to find my backpack. I immediately opened my camera and played the video that I took. I fast-forwarded to the part where I told Matt to say hi. I was shocked to see that I was the only one in the video, and there were no signs of Matthew anywhere. I kept replaying it, but I looked like I was talking to an invisible person. I started to cry when I realized the truth. The boy who kept me sane when I got trapped at the mall.
You're not gonna say it? No, you're not going to say it?
We always wanted to live in this neighborhood.
Subscribe to my story animator or something. He's not going to say it? No, we have time for another video.
I am not the one to believe in luck, but kept on thinking.
All the names have been changed.
I am not the one to believe in luck, but kept on thinking about the 2 miracles that happened this morning. First, I woke up before my first alarm, and my mom was like, "Who are you?" I couldn't believe it either. I always sleep late at night because of reading romance novels. Every morning was like a battlefield, and my enemies were my alarm clock and my mom. And I always ended up getting out of bed after the 20th snooze of my alarm. And second was the delivery package that was sitting in front of our door. It was a hard copy of the latest novel of my favorite author. I have been trying to get her attention for the last 5 years by sending her messages through her email, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, and finally she noticed me. Moments later, my dad pulled over to a grocery store to buy something, so I waited inside the car and put my earphones on. I opened TikTok to see if my imaginary boyfriend Nate has a new video. I can't stop watching them. He's like the dream guy of every girl out there. Those crystal blue eyes, curly blonde hair, and his voice. He has this deep, alluring voice that I could listen to forever. He also dances like a pro and a cute bear at the same time. He is so perfect, and I wish that I could see him in person someday. I had rewatched 50 of his TikTok videos when I realized that my dad was taking so long in the store. What is he doing in there? He only planned to buy gum. I couldn't afford to be late in my first class, and our scary teacher humiliates students who are late. I decided to go out of the car to check on what Dad was doing now. I was about to reach the entrance door when I slipped on something. I fell forward to the door, pushed it hard until it opened, and hit someone's hand. I then heard something dropped on the floor, along with my body. Cringing in pain, I noticed a gun resting on the floor, just a few inches from me. I took it and rolled over to my back, only to see a masked robber holding a lady as his hostage. I looked around and whoa, what in the world is happening? Everyone, including my dad.
The top of the gun is shorter than the handle. That's not how that works. Freaking pause this. Okay, the handle of the gun should be shorter than the top of the gun that the bullet shoots out of.
Gathered up one side with their arms raised. "Give me my gun!" The robber screamed and lunged at me. My heart was pounding so hard in my chest as I dodged him. I then aimed the gun toward.
Today's topic
is
paranormal experiences.
It was so awkward of a jump. It was so awkward you jumped and busted your head on the ceiling.
Towards him in an awkward way. He raised both of his hands up in surrender. The cashier then took the chance to call the police, and moments later, police sirens started echoing outside. I couldn't believe that I was witnessing the arrest of a criminal in person. Police and FBI agents surrounded me and my dad, asking questions about the incident.
Yeah.
Everything happened so fast, and it was so overwhelming. The staff and customers kept thanking me for what I had done, and the police started calling me a hero because that masked robber was also the serial killer who escaped prison 2 weeks ago. Inside the car, my dad kept on telling me that I was the best daughter in the whole world, but everything hadn't sunk in yet. It was a fantastic experience, but the thought of being late in my first class was distracting me. I was running late already, so I wished that there would be no traffic on the next street. Luckily, the road was empty. I was late for 15 minutes when I finally reached our school. While dashing down the hall towards my locker, everyone was looking at me as if there were green flying horses coming out of my nose. I'm a wallflower, a nobody who dreams of being the most beautiful and most popular girl in school, so I found their reactions very unusual. I opened my locker and saw a small note inserted in my notebook. My eyes flew wide open when I realized that it was a love letter. I considered this as another miracle because this was the first time that I had received such a letter. I've never had a guy admire me, ever. I closed my locker after getting some books, and the moment I turned around, I was surprised to see the cutest guys in school lining up.
Oh, no, you're not gonna pull one on me. You can do this, legit. No, you can't pull this on me. I saved people's lives. What they did made me cry. And freaking, nope, no crying. You save people's lives, and then the next 10 freaking minutes is a love story about all the guys in school. Yeah, clickbaity pieces of crap.
In front of me. Hey, Betty, would you like to go to prom with me? I've always liked you. Want to be my girlfriend?
I'm sorry.
When I turned around, I was surprised to see the cutest guys in school lining up in front of me. Hey, Betty, would you like to go to prom with me?
No one ever said her name's Betty.
I've always liked you. Want to be my...
Who freaking invited Steve from Minecraft? Like, every detail is there. The brown hair, cyan shirt, and the purple eyes. It's clearly supposed to be a reference. And freaking... he has elbows? And, why is there every guy there? Who wrote the note?
My girlfriend? What's your Snapchat? Hey, baby girl. Wait, I felt dizzy all of a sudden.
Who has Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, but not Facebook? I only have one.
Give me a minute to digest this. What are they doing? Hello there. A familiar voice made me open my eyes, and a smiling Noah Buck was the first thing I saw. Noah is my crush at school. He's handsome, smart, and athletic. You were so cool earlier. Want to come to my party later at 7? Oh, so they have already heard the news. Now I understand why everyone's giving me this attention. I stuttered when I saw him. Sure, Noah.
Why
My party later at 7? Oh, so they have already heard the news. Now I understand why everyone's giving me this attention. I stuttered when I saw him. Sure, Noah. I would love to. Great. See ya. He waved goodbye at me as he winked. And then I think my eyes just turned into hearts. I rushed to my first class with blood draining from my face and nervousness. I was imagining the smoke coming out of our teacher's nose and ears. Luckily, she didn't arrive yet. She entered the classroom the moment I settled into my seat. Talk about perfect timing. Good morning, class. Sorry I'm late. I got stuck in a traffic jam. Anyway, I have a surprise quiz for you. Oh no, I wasn't prepared for it. I was sweating with anxiousness as we answered the exam. Another unexpected thing happened after the checking. I got a perfect score. Lunchtime came, and my best friend Gwen's favorite meal ran out. So we decided to eat outside. We noticed several students gathered around in front of the school, checking a red fancy sports car out that was parked on campus. Everyone was shocked, especially me, to see the...
I have a friend who knows everything about freaking cars.
I don't even know where to begin to describe it. And it keeps changing. Hideous. Look closer. It's happening again.
Driver who finally came out of the car. I blinked thrice to check if I was hallucinating, but it was indeed Nate. Girls dropped their jaws as they watched him approach me. Hey, it's Betty, right? I felt like fainting when I heard his voice. It was so disarming. He asked me out for a quick
Yeah,
lunch
Betty
and
Whitson
promised
from
to bring me
Canada.
back to school,
That
as he
clown's
didn't
right in
want me to
front.
cut class. He told me that he got intrigued with me because of the news, and he wanted to thank me personally. You saved not
How did
only the
they
people
have
in that
time to
store,
look
but
at
the
the
entire
news
country from a
in
dangerous
like 50
serial
minutes?
killer. I felt like I was in Cloud 9. He then drove me to a
5 9,
5-star restaurant for lunch. I kept on pinching myself to check if it was all just
like
a
9
dream,
circles
that
in the
everything was
underworld.
real. I couldn't eat properly because I was so shy and conscious of Nate's presence. He was holding a camera taking a video of us, as he wanted to feature me on his next vlog. My phone then rang and I excused myself to answer it. This is the raffle that you joined 3 months ago. We're happy to inform you that you won $1 million and a trip to Europe, which is good for 3 persons. Oh my god, is this
Persons?
serious?
People,
Yes,
stupid.
just message us your full name and bank account details. I excitedly called my parents to tell them the good news. I had
I'm a
already told
teenager,
Nate
I
about
don't
it,
have a
and we
bank account.
continued chit-chatting over lunch. Soon, I realized that I had already skipped my next class, which was chemistry. Nate hurriedly drove me back to school and asked me if we could hang out after my
sorry, is he an
classes.
adult
I
or a
remembered
teenager?
Noah's party at 7, so I suggested that he should join us. My hands and teeth were shaking at the thought of those
Raffle?
girls who
What
ruled the school
frick's
getting
a
jealous
raffle?
of
I've
me.
heard of
You
it,
should
but
also do
what
some
is-
TikTok videos with me, Nate suggested,
No.
and I became
Oh,
ecstatic
no.
about it.
Shut
It
it
was like a
down.
dream
Shut
come
it down.
true. Wait a
Shut
minute.
it down.
My day only started with 2
Shut
miracles,
it
and
down.
now I'm losing my count. What a
Shut it
lucky day
down.
indeed. An idea popped into my head. I'll start testing out my luck
That's
festival.
exactly
I
right.
thought about the
Shut
party
it
later and
down.
how I should look beautiful for
Why do you
Nate,
look like
Noah, and
the
everyone.
girl
But
from
how? I'm a
Futurama,
plain
but with
Jane.
2 eyes?
Hey girl, Jessie, a fashionable student who loves
It's
doing makeup to others,
just you.
approached me. I bought these new makeup sets and I would love to try them on you. I was stunned for a moment. A few seconds ago, I just wished to look pretty, and there's Jessie to the rescue. She gave me a makeover during our vacant time, making me more than ready for the party tonight. Fast forward to the party, I was having a
And
good
my
time
list
with
is
Nate
done.
and the others. Everyone was treating me like I was a beautiful princess.
What happened to
We
your
played a lot of
lipstick?
games such as beer pong and card games, and as expected, I kept on winning. All I did
Wait, there's beer involved in beer pong? I thought you were just supposed to throw a ball in a solo cup. Okay. Apparently I was wrong.
was wish for it to come true. Rubbing my hands together in excitement,
Okay,
I
wait,
decided to
there's
work it
not-
out
there's
more.
not
I
gonna be a
tried my
Robin
luck on
Williams,
billiards,
you're
which
getting
I
Will Smith.
never played before. I played against these guys who were
Disney
experts
remix.
already. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath before striking the cue ball. Everyone shouted in amusement when I miraculously sunk all the pool balls in one strike.
Can't do that.
Unbelievable.
I play
Noah
pool.
kept on giving me these drinks and my mind started to become hazy. He and Nate kept
Probably
on
'cause
subtly
he's
fighting
drugging
for my
you.
attention. It was making me feel that I was the
No,
most beautiful
don't
girl in the
choose
world.
Blondie.
They were both making me
Or the other
confused.
one.
But deep inside, I knew that I liked Nate more. Later that night, the competition between them became even more obvious. So they decided to play rock, paper, scissors, and whoever won would be my real date tonight. I secretly wished for
Why
Nate
did
to
it
win.
make the French
The competition
flag?
between them
I
became
feel like
even
that
more
was an
obvious.
accident.
So they decided to play rock, paper, scissors, and whoever
Are you-
won would be my real
Was
date
that
tonight.
supposed to happen? Or yay or nay? Was that supposed to happen? Yeah, I'm sorry. If my story animated watches this, is this freaking, is this supposed to happen with the French flag or sacre bleu? Now bonjour.
I secretly wished for Nate to win, and he did. Noah walked out with a sad look on his face. It's okay, Noah. You deserve a better date anyway. Someone who's naturally beautiful and not an attention seeker. I turned to the owner of the voice. It was Megan, Noah's
Yeah.
ex-girlfriend who had been giving me the jealous eye since we arrived. She's the principal's daughter who still has feelings for Noah. It was so obvious. I've never been so insulted before in my life.
Okay, so
She looked
Nate
back
is
at me
red,
with raised
and
eyebrows and
Noah
an
blue.
insulting smile.
Okay.
And I couldn't help but wish that the lighter being played with by that guy standing next to her would just burn her beautiful blonde hair. Seconds later, it really
I'm
happened.
questioning
Served her
you.
right. Noah immediately came to the rescue. He was able to put the fire out before the fire could burn all the strands of her hair. Megan was furious at the guy who played with his lighter, and it ended up in a fight. Nate and I decided to leave the
Let
party
me go,
that had already
please, let
turned into
me
a
go.
major commotion.
Save me.
He drove me home and got to meet my parents, who actually prepared a small dinner celebration for my heroic act this morning, along with Gwen and I wasn't
With
expecting
pizza
it.
and
My
turkey,
parents
too.
also
You
invited
could've
Nate
put
to
the
eat with
turkey
us,
on
and
the
he
pizza.
gladly obliged. We all had a good time tonight, especially me. I kept on wondering how I had gotten this lucky
cheap
since I
can you
woke up
be?
this
You bought
morning.
one
I felt
turkey
like
and
I had
ran out of money, so you
superpowers or
ordered 2
something.
pizzas.
I wish that this could go on tomorrow and the next day and forever. Later that night, our black cat Jackie, who was always distant to me, slept beside me this time. It was so weird,
God,
but
a
it made me
black cat.
sleep with a huge smile
Well,
on my
you're
face.
good luck
The next
going away.
morning,
It's a
I
black
woke up
cat.
way past my alarm, and my mom probably forgot to wake me up. Oh
Save the black
no.
cat.
I remembered that our strict teacher had informed us yesterday about a long, important exam. If you fail it, you'll automatically fail her class. My dad was still sleeping. He had no work that day, but still, it was part of his routine to drive me to school. I tried waking him by splashing cold water on his face, throwing a tree on him, and flipping his bed over. But he really...
There is no way you threw a tree on him and lifted a 100-pound man. Probably 300, but I don't care. There's no way you threw a tree on him and lifted his bed over. There's no... And how did the mattress not just slide off and he slammed on the floor? Like, just, there would be a loud thud. And no one heard this, especially how you got a tree from outside. This is clearly fake.
Wouldn't wake up. Instead of wasting my time on this seemingly
black cat.
impossible, I just then walked my way out of our neighborhood to wait for a taxi. Suddenly, it began to rain very hard, and I forgot to bring an umbrella. What timing? Where's my luck today? Did it migrate somewhere? A rushing car passed through a pool of dirty water in front of me, and I was hit by the huge splash. I contemplated whether to carry on with the dirty, wet clothes or to go back home and change. But when the taxi came, I decided to proceed. Inside the taxi, I vigorously wished for some miracles to happen again today. Like Nate visiting me at school again, or my strict teacher getting absent today. When I entered our school building, everyone was looking at me with disgust. The first class was already dismissed by the time I reached the classroom. Great, I missed the long, important quiz. I checked my phone to see if Nate had left a message for me, but then I realized that he didn't actually ask for my number. Maybe he had forgotten to ask me. Everyone then started treating me like nothing happened yesterday. This is just like any other day. Am I back to being a wallflower? When...
No. Oh.
It's 10.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 10. My art stuff came.
Okay, go. Why do you look like Cindy Lou Who?
Who's it? Oh. I feel dumb.
Back, sorry.
To me and told me what she had found out. Nate's nanny was actually the hostage in the store yesterday. That's why he was very thankful to me. Well, that makes sense. Later that day, I checked the raffle that I had won yesterday to see further details, but I noticed a text message saying that the number who contacted me was actually a scam. I felt like every bad luck that I suffered today was like a boulder that was piling up on my head. Yesterday, I wasn't able to attend my chemistry class because of my lunch with Nate, making me clueless about our activity today in the laboratory. I mixed the wrong chemicals, leading to a small fire in the room, which led me to an hour of detention. Great, another imaginary boulder fell on me. Gwen then informed me that Nate had already uploaded his latest vlog. I immediately checked it and was disappointed to know that I was only featured for like 10 seconds. And it was footage of me eating pasta awkwardly in front of him. The rest of it was about his model girlfriend and how they were madly in love with each other. Nate even addressed me as a random high school student who saved the day by clumsily stopping a robbery. She just got lucky, he mentioned with an insulting smirk. I checked the comments and people were laughing at me instead of praising me. I needed someone to talk to about my heartbreak, so I called Gwen. Come on, Betty, don't you get it? He just used you for views and more fame because the robbery was the viral topic yesterday. She might be right, but I have to make a wish for the last time. I have to confirm if my luck had indeed worn out. I decided to wait until midnight for Nate to contact me. I waited and waited while listening to every tick of the clock. Midnight finally came, and all I could do was sigh in frustration. I took a pen, and while smiling, I scribbled down in my diary.
You know, I'm gonna say this. The animators for My Story Animated take some animating classes for like a month, come back, then make videos. Don't care about the story. Just please have better animation. Take classes for a month for 2D animation, maybe even 3D. Come back, Then you can animate these stories. And they won't look like, and they won't have Roblox mouths. Okay? And not so detailed eyes.
For one day, I was the luckiest girl alive.
What is this? Glitter? Are you cheating on me?
Yeah. It was kind of a clickbait title. Even though none of us actually happened. But I found that video okay. That does. I'll give that a like. The video never really turned into a love story. Didn't pull one on me. Pulled one on Jay, though. It always pulls one on Jay where it turns into a love story. God, it's like freaking the Netflix originals of YouTube. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. I mean, 35 minutes is over half an hour, so